Solving for this equation here for r. So that means what? R is going to be your variable, okay? But what are we going to use here? We're going to use the quadratic formula, okay? So that means we have to rewrite this equation into the format of ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So the quadratic equation to begin with, and then applying the quadratic formula. Okay, so let's go for it. So in this case here, so that means we got to break down this side here because A, there's nothing to do on the left side, okay? So this one, A is going to be equal to what? So P is going to stay P, and then we're going to expand this side here, meaning this becomes 1 plus R times 1 plus R, okay? So 1 times R plus 1 times R. So what is happening here? So we'll be able now to expand it by using the FOIL method. Correct? So that means 1 times 1 is going to give us 1. And then let's don't forget about the P. All right? And then 1 times R is going to give us R. And then R times 1 is going to give us R. And then R times R, which is going to give us R to the second power. Okay? And then we got to carry the A down here. Okay? So then what's going to happen? So inside here, we can combine like terms, right? So we combine the like terms. That means this is equal to A equals to then P times 1 plus 2R plus R to the second power. Everybody good so far? All right? Remember, R is your variable. Now we have to continue by expanding this one by multiplying P by 1, the same P by 2R, and then P by R to the second power. So A equals to what? So P times 1 is going to give us P plus P times 2R is going to give us what? 2PR plus P times R to the second power is going to give us PR to the second power. So you have A here. Almost there, right? Because guess what? We want this one and we want everything on one side, then the other side equals to 0. We don't have that yet. Okay? So to be able to have that, the one thing that we need to do here to make things a lot easier is just to carry the A to the other side, okay? And then the other side is going to be equal to 0. So that means we're eliminating A from the left side, okay? That's what we're doing. So if we eliminate A from the left side, it comes to the right side, then it becomes a negative A because already it's a positive A here, okay? So that would give us what? So that would give us then PR squared, don't forget about that. So PR squared plus 2PR. Now we put it in order, okay? Plus P minus A equals to 0. Because remember, R is the variable that we're dealing with. So that's the reason why we have PR squared plus 2PR plus P minus A. Remember, A goes to the other side, becomes negative A. So that's the same thing as having 0 equals to PR squared plus 2P plus P minus A. It's just the same thing. Are you okay with me so far? Okay, so now let's keep going. So now we got to solve for R by using the quadratic formula. And what's the quadratic formula telling us? Is equal to, so X equal to what? Minus B plus minus square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C, the whole thing divided by 2A. Okay, so that's the formula that we're going to apply now. So let's go with R. So that means, so the first thing we got to do is to recognize what is A, what is B, what is C, right? That'll be better for us. So A is equal to what? A equals to P, because that's the constant in front of R squared, okay? Plus, so that means, so we have then B is equal to what? 2P. And then C is equal to what? P minus A. You see, following this equation here, that's what we have. And again, R is your variable. Then what's going to happen? So now we can apply the formula. So R is going to be equal to what? So minus B, that means minus 2P. Minus 2P. Then plus minus. So we have our square root, and then we have B squared, so that means 2P to the second power. Minus 4 times A. A is P times C. C is P minus A. And don't forget about your square root symbol and the whole thing divided by 2 times a, and a is p. So that gives you 2p. Are we good so far? Okay. So now we're going to bring everything here. So r is going to be equal to what? So r is going to be equal to, now we're going to work inside the radical. So we still have negative 2p that we are not touching. So this is plus minus. So 2p to the second power would be what? 2p times 2p is what? 4p to the second power. Then minus, so minus 4 times p times p minus a. So the easiest way to go about this, ladies and gentlemen, is to take the p multiplied by p times negative a to begin with. And then we keep the 4. So we have minus 4 then times p is p to the second power. P times negative a is negative pa. Whole thing divided by 2p. And don't forget about your radical. Never ever forget about that. So this is equal to what? Negative 2p still plus minus. Then we still have our 4p to the second power. Now we're going to expand this one here. So it's going to be what? Negative 4p to the second power. Negative 4 times negative pa is going to give us negative, so positive then. Negative times negative is positive. 4pa. Square root again, and then we still have our 2p here. Then we continue. What can we combine? 4p squared minus 4p squared, 2 items, different signs. We can cross them out. So we end up with what? Negative 2p plus minus square root of what? 4pa divided by 2p. Is there anything that we can simplify further? Yes. The 4 here under the square root, because square root of 4 is 2. Okay? Is 2. So what are we going to get? So this is negative 2p plus minus what's the square root of 4 is 2. Then pa stays right under the radical because they are not perfect squares. They are not. So this is then over 2p. Are we good? Then what can we do again? We got 2 here, and 2 here. So that means we can simplify all the 2's, right? So 2 out, 2 out, 2 out. So we end up with what? So we end up with, so r here is equal to negative p plus minus square root of pa over p. And this is what r equal to, and that's all we've been solving for, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.